to another edition of 7 Minutes with the Word. As usual, I'm coming to share with you a thought from the Word of God. Today we're going to read Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26 and 27. I'm reading from the NIV. It says that in your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you're still angry. And do not give the devil a foothold. I'll be talking to you on what I've titled Consequences of Prolonged Anger. Anger is a strong feeling of annoyance, of irritation, of displeasure, of hostility towards someone, towards something. Anger can also be regarded as a strong emotional state that involves a strong irritation, a strong exasperation, or even a strong rage towards a perceived provocation, a perceived hurt, or a perceived threat. Anger has different intensities of manifestation. Now, in this particular text today, Apostle Paul is warning the Ephesian Christians about the effects, the adverse effects, the consequences, the danger of uncontrolled and prolonged anger. Now, to make the point of Apostle Paul clear, I want to explain to you a little bit how New Testament authors often express the concept of anger. There are at least 3 words in the New Testament that express the idea of anger. Now, the first word is the word thumos, Thumos. Thumos refers to a sudden outburst of anger. It is characterized by a sudden rise, a climax, and then the falling of the anger, which I may call anticlimax. So between the climax and the anticlimax, that's the falling of the anger, sometimes just a little time that has gone through 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. But the problem with the thumos is that from the moment anger rises and then falls, you observe the devastation that comes with it. After 30 minutes of anger, of thumos, the television is broken, somebody's leg is broken, or something has been destroyed because of the intensity of the anger. I call this kind of anger vertical anger because it rises and then falls. Then you have the orge. Orge is rather an abiding form of anger. Orge is an enduring form of anger. Orge lingers. Orge has a long lifespan. I'm calling it horizontal anger because it lingers and it may last for quite some time. It is the opposite of the thumos kind of anger. Then you have the third, which is parorgismos. Parorgismos is another form of orge. But the problem with parorgismos is that it has developed clusters of sin. What that means is that orge, that lingering feeling that results from a lingering hurt, has brought sinful ramifications. So much so that it has developed now into things like resentment, hatred, unforgiveness, grudge, and so on. So parorgismos is horizontal anger like orge, but with ramifications of sin. In this particular text, Apostle Paul is using 2 of these words. One is orge, the other one is parorgismos. He says that when you are angry, that is orge, do not sin and let the sun not set on your parorgismos. In other words, when you are angry, do not let your anger linger to a point where it breeds, it generates, it begets other sins like hatred, like grudge, like bitterness, resentment, and unforgiveness. Because when you do that, Apostle Paul says that you give the devil a foothold in your life. It means that when you allow the anger to linger and to ramify and beget other sins in your life, you create a space for the devil in your life. NIV uses the word foothold. Paul says you don't give a foothold to the devil. The Greek word is literally topos. And topos means a place. And I think King James captures the idea. He says don't give a place to the devil. The Good News Bible says don't give a room to the devil. Now that's what the Darby Bible says. The Louis Segond version in French says don't give an access to the devil. So when you allow prolonged anger in your life, you create a topos for the devil. You create a room for the devil. You create a place. You give him a foothold. You give him a space in your life where he can have a grip so that he can continue to penetrate your life a little further. You see, that is the problem of anger. Anger creates a door, an access for the enemy to come into your life. You give him a grip. Prolonged anger in your life actually is a leeway for the enemy to come in. It's like an express road, a highway for the enemy to come in. I've seen some people who are real believers, but they've allowed their anger to ramify into many other sinful clusters. And when you begin to pray for them, the devil begins to manifest. Not necessarily that they are possessed, but that there's a grip of the devil over them because they give a topos to the devil. I want you today to pray and say, God, set me free from the grip of anger. Anger is not a trophy that you need to celebrate. It's a weakness you need to get rid of. And I pray that God grants you the grace to get rid of it. If you're blessed, like our page on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. God bless you.